via.
Yeah, because honestly, Pam is a huge part of our VA business. So, she's a partner in that business, and we're super excited about that whole transition into becoming a partner with somebody who was just our assistant for the last year. But she's she's an amazing worker. She's very talented,
extremely talented,
so,
and finding talent is 90% of your job.
Yeah,
as an entrepreneur, finding, isolating, improving talent.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a great nugget to take away. Guys, we are live. Thank you for joining us. This is Carlos with Investor Fuse. A pleasure and a privilege to have Isaac Moore and Andrew LeBaron on. They're in Phoenix, Arizona, co-founders of Live Cash Deals. If any of you guys are in wholesaling houses full-time or follow wholesaling real estate on any social media, Andrew does not really need an introduction. I told him before we went live here, he's like an omnipresent figure in the space, really inspiring how persistent he is. So it's awesome to see him taking action. And we've been friends. We met in person. I met Isaac as well in person about 2 years ago. So I've seen their progression. They've built up this new company, built up this new brand, taking action, massive leveraged action every single day. And it's inspiring to see. And I will let them give a further introduction on themselves. But thank you, Isaac and Andrew, for choosing to spend time to come on and talk to the Investor Fuse community here.
Our pleasure. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Isaac Moore. I've been doing wholesaling for about 4 years now. Started off with my own thing, jumped onto a team where I actually met Andrew LeBaron. And then we jumped in and formed our own team about 13 months ago. And it's just been an amazing ride. I started out as an entrepreneur. I used to own a bread route where I'd wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and work till about noon. And it was the worst thing I ever did. And shortly after that, I jumped into real estate. And it's been amazing for me ever since.
Yeah. No, similar story, only I wasn't an entrepreneur before him. I worked at a bank, got a call, or I was a manager in Chase Bank. And I managed, funny enough, the Filipino call center. Get that? Do you see how we circle back? I was an employee as a manager. I was managing the Filipino call center for Chase Mortgage. So I worked with Filipinos all the time. And this guy calls in and says, hey, I need to get a payoff quote for 10 of these properties. I'm selling them to one buyer. And I'm like, what, 10? And I said, your name isn't even on any of these loans. He's like, I know, but I own them all. I'm like, how can you own 10 properties but not have loans on them? Like, how are you able to be the owner but not be the mortgage note holder? So he's like, I took these over subject to. I had no idea what subject to means. So anyways, I contacted him after that phone call off the clock, and then my head started spinning. He made $3.6 million on the sale of these 10 properties in SoCal, Santa Monica, Mission Beach area. I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. I am not. I don't want to do this at all. Thanks for the shout out, by the way, Pablo. Thanks, bud. And so anyways, from there, I got a mentor and just worked my way up. Worked with a great wholesale company before as an acquisition guy with Isaac, and learned the ropes, and was very blessed to be taught exactly what it takes to build a brand, build a business. Not work 9 to 5, because you can work 9 to 5 in your business and in your job. So that's kind of our nuggets there.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. It's funny how life comes full circle too. I remember you were working with Filipinos prior to getting started there, so it really has come full circle for you. And Isaac, I didn't know that you were doing the route there before you got linked up with Andrew. But I remember when we first met, you first got linked up with Andrew. That's awesome. So thank you guys for that introduction. I'd love to start on your transition, Andrew and Isaac, obviously, when you were working with another company, doing some acquisition stuff, and you decided to branch off into your own company, especially in such a competitive market like Phoenix, which I'm sure I'm going to say a few times here throughout the duration of the broadcast. But tell me a little bit about that, and what were the first kind of things you did when you were starting your own company? You mentioned the branding.
Yep, absolutely. We knew, and just to preface, we knew working with this other company, there were some things that we wanted to see that we weren't seeing. One of them was automation. Automation is so key, especially if you're competing with other people. Speed becomes a necessity, an essential piece of your business. You must be quick. You must be fast. Phoenix taught us that. One of the most competitive markets, I would say, in the nation. I walk into homes where sellers have 80 letters and postcards saying they'll get their house sold. And we're here in the land of Sean Terry, Cody Sperber, Robert Kiyosaki, all the big flippers, right? So everybody's at the seminars, they're showing up, knocking doors, and then you have us trying to start a wholesale business. You need to be fast. So we knew automation needed to be key. We also knew we had to delegate a lot of these tasks to people who were better than us. Okay, we understood that creating automations can be done, but it needed to be handed over to someone who was better than we were at acquiring these opportunities, these deals. So that's what we did. We built a team around this, of virtual assistants.
Yeah. I know the first thing we thought about was what is our ideal marketing system? What does our ideal business look like? And it was something that was always going to be consistently marketing this machine, making leads for us all the time, but also something that we didn't have to directly be in contact with every single day. We need a lot of things to go on in the background while we could do all the other things that we wanted to do to make our business and brand grow and still make sure our marketing is getting done the way we needed it to do.
Absolutely. We had I would say 2 VAs specifically helping us build the brand, sharing on Facebook, posting content, building our buyers list. We had another 2 VAs assisting in acquisitions with contracts, DocuSign, sending cover letters, sending our YouTube video to sellers, promoting our credibility in the market. And then we had a team of acquisition guys that would go out and lock up deals. We had realtors that were working with us as well, locking up deals. So we would meet often, we'd meet weekly, and we just start growing and growing and growing until we have a well-oiled machine. We knew exactly how long it take, what our cost per lead is. Before, we had no idea. We knew how long it was going to take for a seller that was 55 and older on a pre-foreclosure was going to finally convert into a contract, a signed contract. So, just all these things. It was piece by piece, but we finally got there.
Yeah, and in the very beginning, it was very rough. We started with $0, both of us. We got a deal under our belt, and the very first thing we did was get an assistant. That was the very first piece. Get an all-star assistant. We'll pay her whatever she needs to be paid, but she has to have all these different type of qualifications because we're going to build a team around her skill set, and she is going to manage a team for us.
Yeah, she's now a partner of another business that we have.
Yeah.
So the first expense I think any wholesaler needs to expend or to put out there would be an assistant. So
very cool. And is that someone local, virtual, or does that not necessarily matter?
It doesn't necessarily matter. It's totally up to you. We prefer virtual. Our whole business is done virtually, even though we are in Phoenix. We don't get our own contracts. Everything is done virtually out here. But for us, we love the price point that we can get by getting a virtual assistant who's possibly based in the Philippines. That's where we went. The price point for us as a small business owner, we didn't have a ton of capital in the beginning. So being very, I'd say frugal with our money in the beginning to make sure we get the good help that we need, but also not kill ourselves in our banks was what we were looking for.
Plus, here's my little shout out on the Philippines. I honestly believe the Filipinos are some of the smartest people on the planet. They're just extremely thorough. They're very detail oriented.
Yes.
They're very smart. They have a photographic memory. So if I had to choose between, and if this makes me un-American, so be it. But if I had to choose between an American and a Filipino, I would be choosing the Filipino. That's just me. So.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. People want to hear the good nuggets on these. Guys, we're on with co-founders, Live Cash Deals, Isaac Moore, Andrew LeBaron. They're kind of talking about how they built their business from scratch with some previous wholesaling experiment, and we're going to get into some good stuff, case studies, mindset, everything. So thank you guys again for coming on. And what we've been talking about so far is how they built their brand. We're talking about that. They built their company, and the very first hire they made was an assistant that was virtual. And before we went live, I was telling Andrew how some of the inquiries I get just from Investor Fuse clients or people looking to sign up for Investor Fuse, people in the community, they ask about hiring and they ask about virtual assistants. And the first part that we're talking about meshes those both together. Pamela just said hello. Want to give a shout out to Pamela there Is this the assistant? I know this is a VA of you guys. This is her. She's awesome, rock star. If you guys have questions that are listening, feel free to fire these in here because Andrew and Isaac have a ton of value they can provide for you guys.
One of the things that we did immediately when we hired Pamela was she created outlines of trainings. How to post a deal on Craigslist, how to set up a contract for purchase, how to set up dispositions, how to communicate with title, how to be a transaction coordinator. And so you had all these trainings, these segmented trainings in these Google Docs rather. We're creating video, so these video trainings. And then you could just disperse this into a training module with your new hires that come on board after you close some deals. And that way you can grow much faster, much quicker.
Absolutely. That reminds me, that's how we are with our company as well, just huge on documenting so we could bring someone in, train them. And that reminds me of a good article. It's like run your business like NASA. And that's like the same exact stuff they do. They get so granular and specific with documenting internal procedures and processes just so someone could step in there the next day, learn it, and then teach it to someone else. So that's awesome. Moving forward with the hires, I guess let's go with the hiring structure from when you guys first started, the two co-founders here. You got your assistant. She's starting to document processes for transactions, for sending out contracts, everything like that. Where did you guys go after Pamela, the assistant, was hired?
Well, we asked her, and the way we found Pamela, by the way, is we asked another killer, awesome virtual assistant that we had before, Clara. You might know Clara, who is the previous wholesale company's virtual assistant. She said, I know someone better than me. Her name's Pamela. So that's where you get Pamela. Pamela's also in here, guys, by the way. So from there, we set criteria of what we wanted. Okay, there's different facets of wholesale. There's acquisition, there's disposition. Okay, but there's also brand building in the background because a lot of the deals that we get are from other wholesalers or realtors too. So the bigger the brand you have, the more deals you're going to accumulate as you put these under contract strategically. For example, an option contract, you send it out to your buyers because you have a large brand and you're building it, and someone puts it under contract to purchase. So there's different departments we were creating in the beginning. Some of the parameters that we had for a virtual assistant that Pamela suggested would be someone who has ample time throughout the day, who's always available, someone who's got an i5 or i7 processor or faster computer. I mean, it gets granular. It gets so small. Do they have an iPhone? Okay, if they don't have an iPhone, that's fine. Do they have one of the latest phones? Because that's a necessity in marketing. It is. Equipment is so huge. What's their family situation like? Okay, what's their financial situation like? We ask these questions in these interviews to see who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pamela had a vast background. She actually she was a call center manager before then, so we knew she had the management skills, and that's what we were looking for. And also a call center management skills. We knew we were going to be growing a team around her, so we knew that she'd be able to take individuals, put them in the positions that they need to be in, so that our business could have the most success and scale at a very quick rate.
Very cool, very thorough and specific. I like hearing about that. We talked about you mentioned the two legs there and the brand in the background, the acquisitions, the dispositions, and always growing your brand. Greg Simpson did a great Facebook Live a couple months ago. He runs ARIA. He has a podcast in Tampa Bay, so he's really built his brand up, and he starts getting referral deals down in Tampa all the time from that and continues to grow on that. And I see that happening with you guys as well in Phoenix. To dive into the acquisitions part, let's talk a little bit about marketing and lead generation. I'm going to let you guys do your intro on that, and then we already had a question come in about contacting leads. I can't remember if you guys are using Mojo Dialer or not, but we had a question from Jared. What's up, Jared? He is in Texas, and he's asking about your structure for contacting leads. So I think this segues nicely into we'll talk about the acquisitions leg of your guys' company to start off here.
Yeah, we've tried Mojo. We used to use Mojo. I think we're using CallRail right now. Yeah, you got to build a team of callers who can definitely get that initial message out to whoever it is. If you want to call, if calling is your thing, that's one thing that we love to do. We love to prospect for leads by, using our call center. But there's various different ways that you can definitely follow up. I see this first question: how many times and how often do they call leads out of Mojo? We send out, I think our initial call, we at least call twice. Once we get in contact with the seller, they go into our CRM, our database, and they actually get into a ringless voicemail and text message follow-up system. So we utilize several different ways to contact and get our message out to the seller. I think that's the most important thing. The many different ways you can get in contact with your seller, definitely try to do that. For us, since we are prospecting, whenever we get in touch with a seller, if we lose touch, we'll either get on Facebook, try to find them there, message them there, whatever we have to do to keep that contact alive with the seller and keep that lead fresh.
We're recently using a call center, and it was a Filipino call center that we kind of put together. And in fact, we had another partner that we were working with, and I believe they used the predictive dialer called S5 call predictive dialer. So in that way, you can get burned through a ton of phone calls. If you have the proper scripts and you're contacting the right people, the people that will convert, and you disposition these leads into the correct follow-up, then they're just bound to become leads. They're bound to become closed. We like to target absentee owners. That is no secret. Most people are doing that nowadays. I mean, they've done it. They always work. It's one of the best lead source. In Phoenix, everyone's hitting them. We also like the pre-foreclosures. Okay, we have many different scripts that we use. For example, in the same phone call, we'll talk about a cash offer. Then we'll talk about leasing the home from the person. Okay, we'll talk about a full price offer. Okay, we want to be a transactional engineer. You got a structural engineer, right? You got a mechanical engineer. We're transactional engineers. We put together deals that usually are not put together on one phone call. We can do it. And then from there, we have a campaign with different text messages. And I'm talking probably over 400 different text message voicemail campaigns with different messages that send to these campaigns based on their criteria. So if we're hitting up a pre-foreclosure candidate, they're going to hear a message tailored to them. If we're talking about an absentee owner, they're probably going to get a message, a text or a ringless voicemail that talks about the pain of having tenants, repairs, the way that we will pay full price and not damage their home. Okay, so there's different scripts, there's different voices tailored to these different campaigns and parameters.
Yeah, and one system that we love to use, one tool that we really enjoy using is Voxer. So by using Voxer, we have our whole marketing team. We can see what they're doing all day long, but also everybody's communicating with each other very efficiently and quickly. So we have boots on the ground here. We have 2 acquisition guys. So once the lead is hot from our call center, once that lead is hot in there, we immediately hand it over to one of our professional closers who are going to go set that appointment and get out to that property and do their magic. So by using Voxer, we're able to seamlessly get everybody in the same room, even though we're not all in the same room, right? Our whole team is virtual. Everybody's in different locations all over the world. But it makes it very easy for us to synchronize and work as a very good team.
I'm gonna actually show you exactly how effective Voxer is right now.
Love
Check
that.
this out. Pamela's watching. I'm gonna tell Pamela to send you a message on Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna say Pamela.
Or she can send a message right here.
Or she can send a message right here. Well, she's probably watching too. It's not weird. Yeah. To send an email, I guess that'd be cool. Send an email to Carlos. So, hey, Pamela, please send an email to Carlos telling him he rocks. So, hey, Pamela, please send an email to Carlos telling him he rocks. Okay. So from there, she's going to send an email to you saying you rock. Now, here's another way that our acquisition team, by the way, Darren Bodel and Darian Owens, shout out, they're amazing. Follow them on Facebook.
Very good.
Doing big things.
Very good, guys.
Closing tons of deals. Here's a way that we like to put deals together. All right, let's set up a contract, send it DocuSign, janice@gmail.com, property address 123 Main Street, inspection period 14 days, close of escrow 30 days, Empire West Title Agency or Magnus Title Agency. Let's go ahead and send a DocuSign and PDF, include the cover letter, and set up disposition on a follow-up campaign for a 30-day campaign. So from there, I know they're going to get a contract. They're not just getting a contract. We're going to berate them with tons of reminders. Hey, sign the contract. Hope you're doing well. This is how we can help you. This is what we do. In one message, in one Voxer message. And I didn't do a thing. The assistants do it all. We don't touch it. We don't do it. We just wake up and we see $145,000 in the bank account every month. That's what we do. So that's the point. You can wholesale. You can hustle, and you can do every single piece. You can get on your computer and send a contract, or you can have someone better than you do it for you. And that's what we decided.
Yeah. And you always got to remember why you got into real estate, right? I mean, like for me, my hours were just ridiculous. So I was like, I have to do something different. Real estate popped up on my radar. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm a ready, fire, aim guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at the X's and O's. I just get into it and I go. But my initial goal was change my schedule. And I was able to do that immediately. I changed my schedule immediately. And then after that, everything else was, okay, build the business to where it needs to be. And how do we want this to look like? And we were always saying, we need to be wherever we can be all over the world and still be able to close deals in any market we need to be into. So
I was in the Philippines, and we closed on Grand, remember, in Mesa?
Yeah.
We closed a couple deals, some cheap ones, 3 to 5K. Grand was like 20-something thousand. And I wasn't even a part of the deal. I was hanging out with my wife and kids at SM MOA.
And Pam.
And Pam. I was hanging out with Pam. I was hanging out with Pam and Clara. Remember Clara?
Yeah.
I was hanging out with all these cool people in the Philippines, in Manila.
Yeah.
And Isaac's like, it's late over here, but we just closed on this deal.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, wonderful. So
That's amazing. Yeah, I just told Dan actually last week I want to visit the Philippines 2018, 2019. That's where we have some of our support staff as well. But yeah, the segment that you guys just hit on, you guys are hitting a little bit on the overarching theme. One of the overarching themes of this live is how to stay competitive in such a competitive market such as Phoenix. And we've been touching on that a little bit. You guys have mastered just processes and systems, building the brand. And also another thing, as far as negotiation, being able to present multiple offers to the seller, which is amazing. And that's going to help just, against a lot of other wholesalers. They're just getting out of a seminar or they're new and they're just offering a cash type offer here. We do have a couple questions, but yeah, guys, that was amazing. Co-founders Isaac Moore, Andrew LeBaron, live cash deals. If you can read the whiteboard behind, they have closed $145K in assignments. I'm sure maybe other type of deals there, but couple double closings, and they are really laser focused on getting their assistants to help them build these processes out. You can rewatch this first part if you're just joining us. I'm going to go to one question that we had here, guys. Give me 1 second. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Ryan's asking, what company do you use for ringless voicemails? You were touching on those for the drip campaigns.
Scipio.
Yeah.
Scipio.
We've been using Scipio the most right now. It's been very good with us. We've tried some couple other ones, but Scipio lets you put it into some very cool campaigns for your follow-up, and it's just been a really amazing tool for us.
Awesome. So do we want to dive into some of the case studies there for the what we have on the whiteboard behind you guys? We got a really good overview of the acquisitions, and I think what I took away from that, I'm a big Darren Hardy compound effect guy. So the process that you just did where we did the live Voxer to Pamela, if you're able to do that, let's say 10 times a day, Monday through Friday, 50 times a week times 52 weeks, imagine how much time that saves you in the year of your operation of sending contracts, putting them on a drip campaign, everything like that. Like, that's just amazing to me and something that I think people need to focus on if they're taking something away from this interview. That's one of the main things.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you start doing business like this, you can't go back to any other way of doing business.
No way.
You have to continue to improve your systems, your way of doing work, and this was just a huge step for us. And this is how our whole team does it. Our acquisition guys will be saying the same exact things that we just said. They know the processes. It's the easiest, smoothest way for us to get things done. And you have to have a great team behind you. And that's why Andrew is, he loves the Philippines, because their work ethic, the things that they do is just, it's beyond great. They are a phenomenal team. They have everything.
They're awesome. Before I continue, I want to say the secret to competing in a competitive market is to not compete. It's to partner.
Yep.
When you partner with other wholesalers, suddenly their guard goes down. They need help dispositioning. All wholesalers need help dispositioning. They don't order. One of the hardest parts of wholesaling is organizing your buyers, knowing which buyer is going to buy in this zip code. And I think we have that down. We know exactly who's looking for what at what time. We've created an email list, and it's a segmented email list. We have campaigns. We use Active Campaign. That's another way that we generate leads as well. Every Wednesday, and this is a huge tip. I'm totally giving away the farm here. Every Wednesday, we send out an email. We have 30 plus thousand people in an email list. We send them an email saying, today is, what's it? Something Wednesday. Oh, what do we call it? Fetch. What do we call it? We'd like to work with you Wednesday. Sorry.
Nice.
We'd like to work with you Wednesday. Sorry. I don't know. I drew a blank. So we'd like to work with you Wednesday. Send us your deals that don't close. Send us the deals that you are struggling with. We get all these emails. Actually, we tell them to click on a button. They click on the button. It takes them to a form. Address, name, email, phone. Tell us about this property. How much time do you have left on the property? How much time do you have to close? What title company do you have this property with? So we collate all that data. The VAs collate all the data. And we create, this is a really cool deal, we create a property blast with all that data. And if they have no picks, we're just going to get a Google pick. We're going to blast it out there and say, hey, 123 Main Street, new deal, and it gets sold like that. And everyone's like, whoa, where do these guys come up with this deal? You know, we're helping other people. We're partnering to get deals closed. Yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah, it's always all about bringing value to the marketplace, right? So our marketplace is our buyer's marketplace and our seller's marketplace. And how can we create more value for both sides, right? And Andrew is always doing these proactive things on Facebook, these amazing posts. He's a creative writer. This guy's amazing. You know, seriously, kudos to this guy all day long. He has these amazing posts that just delivers amazing content to people who are in the same shoes that we're in a year ago, 2 years ago, you know, who are trying to get their businesses up and going. And when you're delivering this amazing content to people, they just gravitate towards you to give you stuff. They're going to give you deals. They're going to give you leads. They need help. Go and help them. You have the network. Let them leverage you. That's, you know, one of the best things our mentor told us, Tim Wynn. He was like, look, guys, leverage me as much as you can. You know, that's exactly what I want you to do. Leverage my network, leverage my resources. My resources are your resources. And that's what we tell everybody who tries to work with us, because we truly believe, just like Andrew said, the best way to beat the competition is to believe that there is no competition. We can all work together. We can all get a piece of the pie and do many more transactions.
Yeah, absolutely love that mindset, guys. And Isaac, I couldn't agree more. One thing I
want to see a deal from start to finish? Or
yeah,
you said you want to see a case study?
Yeah, I got that comment in there. I think Jared said that, or let me see here. Stephanie said that. But it sounds to me, before we go into this, I'm going to let you guys run on your full process, because we have a few people that are asking just for your entire process, start to finish. But what it seems like, just to touch on this, it seems what you guys are doing is you're really mastering on automating and scaling the opportunities that are coming into you. Both the direct-to-seller opportunities, and we talked before we got on air, you have that wheel running of the direct-to-seller opportunities that are coming into you, while you also have the wheel of the partnering and the JV wholesale deals. So you guys are just funneling as many opportunities as you can, and then as you gain more knowledge on the market and your negotiations get better over the last couple of years, everything, you're just able to monetize those better and better, while also providing value and building brand in the background, which Isaac was just touching on, which is awesome.
Nailed it. That's exactly right. I'm going to answer this question by Stephanie. What's the best way to open a conversation for pre-foreclosures? How do you start it from the initial pickup? Well, when we call, we don't want to alarm them. We say, hi, John. Hi, Susie. Go right into their name. Pretend like you know who they are. Don't ever call someone introducing yourself like some other telemarketer would do. No, you need to go, for example, this would be my call to you. Hi, Carlos. How you been? Carlos immediately engages. All you're looking for is engagement. I've been good. Who the heck are you? And then from there, you say, hey, I was actually browsing Maricopa County. I was actually browsing the county assessor website, and I noticed that your home, unfortunately, is up for pre-foreclosure, and I actually want to help you. I wanted to write you a check this week. Can we work something out? Write me a check? What? Write me a check? Yeah, you can write me a check. Let's talk. Great. Can we come by your home later this evening? Actually, that's a bad question. What we ask is, we have two availabilities. Can we come by at 3 p.m. or can we come by at 4 p.m.? You only got two shots, right? Only two. They can't say 6 p.m. because I only gave them two options. Yeah. You can come by at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Can you come by at 4 p.m.? Yeah. 4 p.m. available. Great. Sounds good. We're definitely excited to help you with your pre-foreclosure situation in your home. We will be there at 4 p.m. today. Thanks.
And actually, and another one that we love to say when we're trying to schedule that appointment, because to us, if they're pre-foreclosure, we know you're motivated. So we're trying to set an appointment with you immediately. We're not trying to do too much over the phone. We want to get to you face-to-face. And one thing we love to say is, hey, you know what? Funny enough, I'm actually in the area right now. It'd be okay if I stop by, And, then you might have to, wherever you are, you might have to book it. But, hey, great, I'll be there in 30 minutes, But, if you can get them there right now, they're available, get it right now.
It's called the online sales funnel, but I call it the on the phone sales funnel, right? So your phone sales funnel is urgency. You got to use urgency. Okay, use urgency. The urgency is, like Isaac said, I'm actually in the area at 2 p.m. today. I'm actually in the area right now. Can I come over? I'm going to help you. And in their head, remember, in the beginning of the phone call, you already told them I got a check written in your name, so to speak. Yeah, I'd love to help you out. I'd love to write a check. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm here to help you. I do real estate. So the script is a little bit more than what we just stated. I mean, yeah, we have a course. We have a group where we give out free courses where we just do Facebook Lives and teach people how to do it. It's called Free Real Estate Courses. Free courses in real estate investing. That's what it's called. So check us out there. It's a closed group. Just jump in. It's free. So, in fact, we got one today on lease options at 1 p.m. But, anyways, yeah, we went off a tangent. Sorry, Carlos. Go ahead.
No, not at all. That's a good. You're answering the question there. Yeah. And my quick pivot from that question or second layer to that question is, you mentioned that you like to target the absentee owners. So I'd imagine it's going to be similar for any of those distress type leads, whether it's absentee, vacant. You may just address it, probate. You may just address that initial touch a little bit differently, but you're still going to use what Isaac said, like the urgency, like, hey, I'm actually in that zip code. Can I stop by right now? Or like in an hour. And then we had a couple follow-up questions. Jared, for your question here, let me know, is this including the dispositions? We went over that a bit, but let me know what you're thinking there, Jared. I'm sure Andrew and Isaac would be happy to touch on that again. And then Daniel, Baltimore guy, he wants to know what data source you guys are using for those to get those phone numbers.
Sure. Cool.
We use Tracers Info.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
We've used TLO. We've used Locate Plus. Tracers Info has been very good to us, and that's what we've been using for the last couple months.
Tracers Info is a similar product to TLO. They are excellent. If you want some more information, please send me a PM. It is TransUnion based, credit bureau based, and the data is very accurate. They do a really good job. We're getting close to 95% accuracy. So I hope that helps.
Very cool. And a lot of those, I know Tracers Info because we used to use them in the past. I think they may have to come by and you have to establish that you have some type of office, I think, right? So that's another layer of security there. But yeah, Tracers Info works really, really well when we have used that in the past. Let me see other questions here. Stephanie's showing some love. Thank you, Stephanie. We're going to jump back to the disposition side a little bit. And David has a question about building a buyer's list. So here you go, guys. What advice do you have for establishing a larger buyer list?
Yeah. One great technique that we have used, that we like to use, make sure you're marketing to your buyers, right? One, branding is an amazing tool. Facebook's been amazing for us. Craigslist has been amazing. But, get in contact with your either title agent or your closing attorney. Hopefully they have resources to get you a list of everybody who's purchased cash in the last 12 months, and send a message, phone call, postcard, ringless voicemail, text message, whatever you want to do. Send them a message letting them know that you have this kind of properties, that's been a great tool for us to build our buyers list, and we still use it today.
You want to build a buyers list, solid buyers, 0 to 10,000 buyers within the next 7 days. This is what you do. Go to ListSource, look for all the fee simple buyers in your county that have purchased within the last 60 to 90 days. Pull that data, skip trace the data, and cold call them to get them on your buyers list. If you don't want to cold call them, you can simply pull their email data, or you can submit their names into a Facebook. This is really deep, sorry. Into a Facebook ad.
I love it. Keep going.
Yes, into a Facebook ad with a video, and you could say, hey, I noticed you bought a house. It's going to target them. You know, I noticed you bought a house in Maricopa County recently. I got homes in Maricopa County, and I'm looking for you. I want to sell you more properties, and I got them at 50 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar sometimes. So that's a really deep way to do it. You don't need to do that, though. You can go to, I would say, select, if you want to hustle, select 10 title companies, set meetings with them, and do 10 weeks, or you can do 10 days. It's kind of crazy, though. But in 10 weeks, select a meeting with a title company once a week, and get with the title agent, the reputable title agent, and say, hey, who are your investor buyers? Mm-hmm. I would love to use your title company with this investor buyer. Make sure you tag that title company with that investor buyer. And whenever you do a transaction, use that title company. Give them kudos. They'll give it to you. Title companies will give you all that info. They'll say, hey, you need to check out TCO Invest. That's ours, by the way. These guys are closing lots of deals. They want to buy your properties. They are a real deal. They're the real deal. So they'll tell other people that, and we get people coming to us because they were told by the title agent to come to us. So that's a great way. Facebook, branding, Craigslist is classic, but Craigslist, I mean, you're going to find a ton of wholesalers, but those wholesalers have buyers. Yeah. So you'll eventually get to the buyers.
Yeah. If you're going into a new market, you might even want to just Google, who's the biggest wholesalers in there. Google will typically give you some big names out there. If you don't have buyers yet, but you got a deal, Google one of the wholesalers there, show them your deal. They have buyers. You're going to have to JV with them, and that might not be what you want to do in the beginning, but if you need something to close quick and you don't have the buyer available, go ahead and reach out to another wholesaler. And if your buyers list becomes stale, like you're just seeing less openings of your emails, one thing that we did, we would go take our buyers list, we would cross-reference it with our Facebook, see who is on Facebook on our buyers list, and then do a direct Facebook message to them for everybody that's on your buyers list, whether it be a video, whatever you want it to be. It could be a static image. Just any way you can get back in front of your buyer's face to make sure that they start seeing your stuff again.
Yeah, if your email list goes cold, you could create a Facebook video. You can create a Facebook ad with a video saying, hey, you're not opening any of my emails. Knock, 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 knock. Like, totally do that. People do that all the time. It actually works really well. They're like, oh, shoot, I saw this. I'm messaging you now. I'm looking through my spam. What the heck? There you are. So,
yeah, man, that's some 2018 trend-setting stuff type there. But I remember, and we're talking about the disposition side here now. That's amazing. I'd love to see, you guys probably don't have this data, I wouldn't assume, but like the how effective each of those rates are for building a buyer, like sending them a targeted video ad on Facebook versus like cold calling or having VA hit them up. But I remember a couple years ago, and this is probably obvious to some of the people listening, but if you're hitting up buyers on Facebook to sell your deals to, I remember a couple years ago when we first met in Arizona, Andrew, you were doing that on the seller side and having success with that. Like people that you were skip tracing and it'd be like a bunk number, you couldn't get their email, whatever, they're in a distressed situation. You were able to find them on Facebook, and you did the same strategy. Hey, seller's first name, I have a check for you. We're buying in that zip code particularly. So if you want to learn about how to leverage social media, please reach out to Andrew. And, as the same method he's telling you to do it here, send him a direct message, a private message on Facebook. I'm sure he would be happy to help you and would be able to provide a ton of value on both sides. Brand building, dispositions, and acquisitions for you guys. Jared has one question here we probably go over quickly. And he was kind of going down that pathway of, you offered the seller the 2 appointment times there. You said, hey, we can come by at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He kind of wants to hear a little bit about the pathway if they don't accept a appointment originally. And I know part of the answer is you put them on a specific trip campaign, but maybe anything else in addition that you do there for someone that can't do an appointment that day or that week.
Yeah, you set them up on on a drip campaign, and all your drips need to be pre-created. You should not be manhandling any of your follow-ups. If you are, then you're wasting a lot of time. I would say put them on a drip and ask them an inspired question. Say, what day are you willing to meet with me so we can fix your problem? You know, what day will work for you so that I can fix your problem? You always have to come back to that. That question needs to end with, so that I can solve your issue, so that we can help you out, you know.
My team generated an offer for you. Would it be okay if I met with you today to show it to you? Yeah.
My team generated an offer. We actually have an offer waiting for you. Can I send you an email of the offer? Yeah, sure. Sounds good. What's your email address? Now you got them, right? You got their email, you got their phone. Now just plug that data into your drip system. You know, it's just going to be, they're either going to unsubscribe or they'll call their lawyer and sue you for harassment. So either one, like you're going to get a deal out of it. So those are the three things they do. They can unsubscribe, you can get sued, or you get a deal out of it.
Hey, and you close enough deals, you don't have to worry about the lawsuits. They'll pay for themselves.
Yeah.
And please believe the lawsuits will come.
Oh, yeah.
When you're doing enough transactions, they will come.
That's just a part of life, man. So.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. I saw one, Andrew, that you were kind of going through front to back on wholesaling houses full time, things like that. So yeah, I know that they come up. Pablo asked again, I think Pamela posted this. What's the name of the Facebook group? Is that Free Courses in Real Estate Investing?
That's correct.
Okay.
Free courses in real estate investing. Please jump in. Try to locate it in the search bar in Facebook and just click join. It's a closed group. We'll invite you. We'll let you in. And at 1 p.m. today, we do have a free training and even a free contract. We're handing out a free contract. You can have it. It's a lease option contract. You can buy homes without a bank. So we're going to walk you through it.
Very cool. And that's 1:00 Arizona time. I'm on EST. So it's in about 45 minutes, guys. Finish asking your questions on here. Co-founders, Live Cash Deals, Isaac Moore, Andrew LeBaron. They're bringing a ton of nuggets here. I'm going to have to go back and watch just to make sure I have everything. But in 45 minutes, they're going to be having their own Facebook Live, giving away a ton of free resources, value. So they're Facebook Live guys today. I love it. Got a few more questions that came in here. What's up, Tyler? Tyler's asking about for those prospects that you guys are hitting up before they become a lead. And we were talking about this a little bit as well, how like Investor Fuse is focused on the act once they're a lead. Once you know they want to sell their house and you're able to manage and nurture them with some automated follow-ups and stuff like that. Tyler wants to know the drip system you're using for more so like these prospects that you and Isaac have been talking about.
Hands-free leads.
It's another company. Hands-free leads. That's what we use.
Yeah.
Subscribe. No. It's a mix of Scipio and ActiveCampaign. Yeah. ActiveCampaign is an email message marketing system, and Scipio is your text and RVM system. Mm-hmm. So that's our drip system. Yeah.
Very cool. Pablo says thank you. Awesome, guys. Ask your questions here. We'll be wrapping up a little bit. If you guys can read the whiteboard behind Andrew and Isaac, there's a number on there. I believe it says 145,000. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And I'm sure that you're welcome, Tyler. And I'm sure that we will have some questions stemming from that number, how you got it, how other people can kind of duplicate that in their own businesses.
Yeah. So that's $145,000 net in transactions for this month. Okay. So far. So the month just started. But we built the systems of virtual assistants and automations, and now we're reaping the benefits. A lot of these came from absentee owners and pre-foreclosure individuals, and a lot of these actually came from other wholesalers. Referrals. I could say a ton of stuff comes from realtors. A lot of realtors love throwing stuff our way. See, a realtor is actually going to take a check today rather than let it sit on the market 3 months. Let the appraiser come in and say, well, this isn't going to work. It doesn't appraise. It doesn't want to wait for the buyers to bail, fill out a Binzer, So realtors are a great source of leads, amazing source of leads. There's so many baby boomers right now sitting in old, outdated homes, and they just don't want to fix them up, but they need to sell. A lot of probate deals out there where realtors get a hold of them and they're talking with the beneficiary. or the executor of the estate, and it's just not going to sell in the retail market.
Yeah. And I mean, like this figure is a good figure, but we had 2 deals with buyers, in escrow ready to go that fell out. So, this could be another $40K on top of it. But it's just building up that pipeline, right? Like just what Andrew said, you want to work a referral side. To me, there's 2 ways to get deals, and one is through the referral route, and then one is direct to seller. So we just continuously try to work both of those routes. And social media is it's power networking, right? It's networking on steroids. So if you want to get a lot of networking done quickly, you got to be on social media. But if you're not comfortable doing social media, you got to go to these meetups. Go to your local meetups. Meetup.com is a great one. Your local Rio is a great one. Get in front of people where you can get your referral side going, so that when your direct to seller side may have a slow month, at least your referral side is still bringing you in a couple transactions.
That's awesome, guys. And just to touch on that again, so we're not brushing over it, you said the biggest 3 lead sources for you guys in general are referrals from both wholesalers and agents that would prefer a quick nickel to a slow dime, absentee owners, and what was the third? Probate?
Pre-foreclosure.
Pre-foreclosure. Okay. Pre-foreclosure, absentee, and referrals.
Right. The way you can beat other wholesalers, and Phoenix is really competitive, but I mean, we partner with everyone. The way you can beat the other, this is huge, this is key. So really take note. The way you can beat other wholesalers to get the deal done is let the seller know that you're going to pay full price. So you're willing to pay full price. Now you need to follow through. If you're willing to pay full price, it needs to be on your terms, which could be, hey, the house is worth $150K. A wholesaler is going to come in and offer 80. You're going to say, no, I'll offer 150K. Yeah, I know you need help. I'm willing to pay full price, and then get in the door. Don't stop, go. Don't collect $200. Don't try to make a deal over the phone. Don't send them a contract. Just get to the house. If you tell them full price, are you going to work with me? They say yes. Come to my home. You can seal the deal there. So when you get to the house and you tell them, hey, I can give you, 150K over 5 years, or I can give you 80K and close the deal next week. They have options, but you're in person to tell them. So.
And you would say a big part of that's being the first investor inside the door.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables in that, in your opinion.
It depends. I mean, if it's a pre-foreclosure, it's everything. Pre-foreclosure, everybody knows this list. Everybody has access to it. So everybody's blasting these people. If you have a pre-foreclosure lead, it has to be the same day. That's what we tell our guys. It has to be same day.
Just because that's more time sensitive than an absentee owner or something like that.
In Arizona, your foreclosure can happen. Your foreclosure is going to happen within 90 days. So after the 30-day period, when you get a 30-day period, you need to contact them immediately. They are in denial after 30 days. They're in denial. They're not gonna convert. They usually don't. They're like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna get my brother to help me pay the mortgage, or we just got in a little snag. We're good to go now. 60-day. That's when it's hot. That's when people are, oh shoot, I need to really figure this thing out.
Yeah, and specific leads get put into a specific follow-up campaign. So like a pre-foreclosure lead, they're in like a daily campaign for 30 days.
Right.
They're getting started. If we're not in contact with that lead yet. So
very, very cool. Man, you guys are on a hell of a pace for June so far. That is awesome stuff. Any questions, guys? We're getting close to wrapping up here. I think we've touched on a lot of the main points that we wanted to hit on as far as, building your brand, social media, everything like that. I'm going to make sure that I get from Andrew the links and everything he describes to you guys when you guys are watching this. Again, you can look at all the resources they have. Definitely hit up Andrew on Facebook and join. I'm going to put this up again here. Anybody who stayed on this entire time, definitely join this Facebook. This is a Facebook group, Andrew?
That is.
Yeah, join this Facebook group. And unless we have any other questions coming in here last moment, I'll leave it to you guys for some closing words. There's been a ton of nuggets. There's actually a comment here. Let me pull it up. From Ed, making sure that we can put this on YouTube and as a webinar. I'll put this up real quick. A lot of powerful and interesting info on the broadcast, but everything's going so fast. Please make it so we can review it and review it again. Ed, we will 100% put this on YouTube, and I will put show notes on here so that you can go back and and look at. And Andrew really brought everything in Isaac as well. So there's a ton of good stuff that you can look into, from who to use for ringless voicemails, skip tracing, Facebook. They're willing to help you with groups and everything on there. And I think we have some comments coming in. Jared, thank you. Thanks, guys. This is amazing. Andrew Elson, great info. Will, I think we're chatting later today, Will, actually. What's Andrew's last name? LeBaron. Similar to LeBron, one of my favorite athletes.
I wasn't that
LeBron. That's the nickname we gave him.
LeBron. Don't catch me on the court, though. Yeah,
awesome.
Just to wrap up, guys, I wanted to just share. Yeah, looking forward. Good to see you, Stephanie. Looking forward to see you there. I do want to share this. If you want to be a killer real estate investor, whether you do fix and flip, whether you do wholesale, whether you whatever it is, like Carlos was saying, document everything so you can measure results. Mm-hmm. If you cannot measure results, you can't grow. You just can't. I mean, if I don't know how many offers I made this week, then how am I going to know how many offers will it take to get a deal done? We factor, each lead, our cost per lead is around $23. But I mean, we've broken it down so we understand how much we need to invest in the business. And not a whole lot of variables change. There are many variables, but if I need to spend 10, 20 grand so I can make 150 grand, I'm going to do it. But I also need to know how many offers do we make? How many appointments do we make? And a lot of this stuff can be measured like on Investor Fuse. Investor Fuse has a platform where you can measure all these things, where you can put a virtual assistant in place to manage it. And Carlos is awesome at helping add value to other investors and build out these systems. You must do it. Second, I wanted to say give more. Give more to the realtor community. Give more to the investor community. Give more to the wholesale community, because when you give, it comes back 100-fold. And when it comes back 100-fold, that means deals. Deals are coming. So and Tom Kroll talks about this a lot. The secret of living is giving. I know Joe Fairless talks about that. Another good example is Brandon Simmons. So when you give, people want to help you. I get people calling me all the time. Hey, I got this deal I need help with. Looks like you're helping other people. Can you help me with it? I don't mind splitting it with you 50-50. I'm like, sweet. There's like 30,000 spread in this deal. You need help with this deal? I'd love to help you with this deal. So,
yeah, absolutely. And just, my closing point would just say, wherever you are in your business today, realize, me and Andrew, this 145 didn't come overnight.
No.
We were both individual business owners first. We went and worked acquisition for our mentor for 2 years. And then we started our own business, which has been doing, really well the last 13 months. But within the last 13 months, our account has been negative numerous times.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're throwing so much back into the business, and we make sure that our team is eating before we do, right? So always take care of your team. If you want your team to perform for you, you have to perform for them. We always pay the team and make sure they're eating before we do.
I love that. And that's raw, Carlos. That's raw when you get two investors that say our account has been negative.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, we're a no bull, no frills group. We'll just tell you like it is. Yeah. And it's actually great for your accountant, if you make no money, guess who? You don't owe any money either. So
that's a good point. And I could ask you this off air, but any book recommendations? I've heard of I think it's the Go Giver that I have on my book queue that I've been meaning to get, but I haven't. Is that one of the main ones for that giving mindset that you have, and anything else that you could add to that? Would love to hear.
Crush It and Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk.
Okay.
If you want to become a brand and you want to explode and you want business to come to you rather than you go to it, read Crushing It.
Yeah. I'm super lacking on my Facebook and my social media presence. So Andrew's my guru. I'm always trying to learn from him. And Crushing It is one that I'm listening to right now. It's great stuff. Great stuff in there.
Very cool. Yeah, one of my best friends, he owns a basketball training company. He just started reading that, getting a ton of insight from that. Me personally, I want to get the hard copy of The Go Giver because I already have that mindset and have been trying to grow that mindset. But I'd love to read kind of a manual on that and get those beliefs and thoughts embedded a little deeper.
Awesome.
Hey, we might have to have you guys on for a part 2 here pretty soon when you guys do 250K in the first week of August to September here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for all the questions. You guys got a ton of love on here. Ed, I will be sure to put this on YouTube and repurpose this podcast, everything like that, so you can go back and listen to everything. Andrew and Isaac, thank you guys so much for choosing to spend your valuable time. A real pleasure and a privilege. Stephanie and everybody else who's on here and want to catch Andrew and Isaac in about 30 minutes, where should they go one more time, just in case you want to keep this conversation going and you want to hear these guys some more to spend your afternoon?
Free courses in real estate investing. It's a Facebook group.
Very cool. Just want to make sure, since we have different people hopping on here.
Yeah, just PM me or PM Pamela or PM myself if you want to be added. So.
Very cool. Guys, thank you again. Community, everybody listening, whether it's live, replay, how it's repurposed. Thank you guys for choosing to listen to this. There is a ton of great value in here, and look forward to serving you guys fuller.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate it, buddy.
See you guys.
All right. See you.